on Twitter at the same time. Welcome back, you guys. Friday night as we talking football. As I am Jive Turkey, I've got my co-host with me. Let's be Frank. Welcome, Frank.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for having me back here, you jive turkey.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure to have you on and to get to do this and share some thoughts we have on a lot of that's happened over the NFL over the past week that's shaken a lot of things. You know, as everyone's known, with the Monday Night Football game that happened against Cincinnati and the Buffalo Bills, and we're glad to see that Hamill is definitely got the tube out of him, and he's definitely breathing on his own. So we want to say, hey, we are praying for you, and we're glad it's working out for you and the fans and everyone else. Frank, how about you lead us into our first story of the day, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, because of what happened on Monday night, they didn't finish the game. They went ahead and postponed it until further notice, and then they decided they weren't going to go ahead and play it out anywhere else. And so that left a lot of questions for a lot of football fans out there. How is the seeding going to take place? How is it going to impact the first round bye? How is it going to impact home field advantage? All of these questions were up in the air. And I know that wasn't the foremost question on a lot of people's minds after what happened on Monday night, but it was still a question that people were talking about. And just because people get hurt and injured and it's a dangerous sport, it is, and things can happen all the time, life still kind of goes on, and the NFL isn't going to stop. They weren't going to cancel the rest of the season. They were going to cancel the rest of the playoffs or Super Bowl. So everyone knew there was going to be something down the road and how that was going to impact that. So the NFL met today behind some closed doors and decided to come up with a few different scenarios for how the rest of the season is going to play out, with the last game happening this weekend on the 18th. So they are not going to make up the Bills Cincinnati game. That's been scrubbed. So they're only going to have one less game played than everyone else, and that's what's causing all of this. So we go ahead, and if you want to pull that article up, this is coming to us from the Outkick, who went ahead and laid out the scenarios that what it could look like during the playoffs this year. So here what we have, it says, here are the scenarios that could unfold via the NFL's past playoff proposal. If the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City both win or tie, a Bills-Chiefs championship game would be played on a neutral site. If the Bills and Chiefs both lose and Baltimore beats or ties with Cincinnati, a Bills-Chiefs championship game would be held at a neutral site as well. Hang in there with me, guys. If the Bills and Chiefs both lose this weekend and Cincinnati wins, a Bills or Bengals versus Chiefs championship game would be at a neutral site. And, of course, one more. As for a coin flip scenario to play out, the Ravens have to beat the Bengals on Sunday and have to be matched up against Cincinnati for the wild card game. If Cincinnati wins or the two teams aren't matched up against each other, regular scheduling occurs. However, the Chiefs visit the Raiders on Saturday, while the Bills host the Patriots on Sunday, and the Ravens play visitor to the Bengals that same afternoon. So there's a couple of the scenarios that we are seeing because of the Damar Hamlin injury that took place on Monday night, and which led to all of these different scenarios. So how do you feel about all those?
Man, one thing I'm going to say, it's a mouthful to definitely kind of congest it all and definitely look at it. I think the more wild card thing, I think it's a coin flip with Baltimore. I mean, for you to think about where you're going to go based off of a coin flip, I mean, you better pick heads because they say heads is a higher percentage. But it's almost like these two teams had 2 bye weeks, and it's really affecting the whole seeding. If you really think about it, what could possibly happen as of any given Sunday or Saturday as it works out. I mean, look what Stidham did this past week against San Francisco. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with that defense. So you can't count out that game right there, and you think that Kansas City is doesn't have a defense like San Francisco.
Right, and even I thought the San Francisco defense was going to feast on the Raiders. I mentioned that last week when we met,
Yep.
and I thought the quarterback was going to be on his back a lot in that game, and he wasn't. He surprised me, and the Niners pulled out the win in overtime. But it was a game that they did not lay down. A lot of people thought they were going to lay down because of the benching of Derek Carr.
Yep, Derek Carr.
In the prior week. So everyone thought this team was going to sell it in, pack it in. We're looking forward to the off season, and there's nothing left to play for. But obviously, that's not it. They decided to go ahead and be professionals. They suited up and they played hard. And because of that game, how they played that hard, they almost beat the 49ers, who have been hot of late.
Yeah, and then if you really think about the other game, is the Bills and the Patriots game. With the Bills and all the turmoil that they have going on right now with them, are they going to really want to play on Sunday? And if you think about that, how does that impact the AFC just in general, like you just saw?
I think what happens with the Bills, I don't think they are going to allow, especially because of Damar Hamlin pulling through the way he has. He didn't pass away, which would have had a bigger impact on the Bills. I think what they're going to do is rally around the fact that he did live, and rally around the fact that they're going to play the rest of the season for him. And I wouldn't put it out of the spectrum to think that Buffalo is a threat in the playoffs to push all the way to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say, because of that emotional spark, because of what happened with Damar Hamlin, that they will be in the conversation. And I'm even willing to say they will make it to the dance. They're going to make it to the dance. So it's going to be the Bills coming out of the AFC.
Okay, so what you're telling me is right now is that you're saying that Buffalo is going to use the emotion that they have to propel themselves to the Super Bowl is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay, so what you're saying is that they're going to possibly make the same run that Joe Flacco and Ray Lewis's defense made when he got injured on a week 17 and had it rehab back to come back and play in the NFC Championship game to win the Super Bowl against San Francisco just a few years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a lot.
Yes. That's what's going to happen. That's what I see playing out. I see them using this as emotional energy, as a rallying call, circle the wagons. We're going to win this for Damar. We're going to take it all the way to the Super Bowl, and we're going to bring home the Lombardi Trophy. And that's how the Buffalo Bills organization, the team, more than likely is going to view this, and they're going to use that as fuel to get them through the playoffs. Their energy is not going to be matched by any other AFC team that's going to be in the playoffs, in my opinion.
No, I think that's a great take because, I mean, look at Jim Kelly, back in the 90s. He was – I mean, they were rolling straight. I mean, he went back to back to back, and they couldn't do it. Dan Marino, he didn't do it. I mean, Josh Allen, it was funny because Nick Wright was saying that Joe Burrow has been better than Josh Allen at every step of the way of his quarterback side. Yeah. But if you really think about it, Josh Allen did say today that, hey, because everyone went to T. Higgins about the situation from Damar and we're really on him about it. And Damar's family stepped in and said, hey, look, we have no animosity. We have nothing. And then Josh Allen came in this evening and said, hey, you guys need to knock it off. So I think what we're really seeing here, I think if we look at overall and if we bring it to full spectrum, is the quality of people that are in the league currently right now, and they're going off script. Think about it this way. Let's think 5-8 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Do you think those guys would actually have said something like that to the media?
Probably not. No, they were always very typical, especially Tom Brady in New England. That they're always very next. We're looking forward to the next team.
Right. But nobody was sitting there going to anybody else's aid and saying like, "Hey, look, like let's be real about this." And I think you're right. And I'm going to bring back into that as well too, because Doug Peterson did the same thing in Jacksonville this past week at his press conference too, because he told the media exactly to their face and said, "Hey, you guys were talking about a meaningless game, and now I'm having to play deflect and tell my players, hey, this game matters."
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's how you have to view these things. Even Tom Brady in Tampa Bay right now is telling the media, no, we're playing. We're playing. It's we need this game. Even though
Yeah,
it won't impact their standing or anything like that. He wants to play the game along with the other starters. And I know Skip Bayless on I forgot what their show is called. What's their show called?
undisputed.
Undisputed.
Yep.
Had a topic on that today. I didn't watch it, so I have no idea where he weighed in on it. To me, the way that he tweeted it out, the way he framed it, it sounded like it was a dumb idea for Tom Brady wanting to do that. But when you're a champion and when you're someone that is looking to fire up your team, you just came off a huge win. You want to
Yes.
follow that up with another win. You want to go into the playoffs with momentum, especially with a Tampa Bay team that has been below average this year.
Yeah,
And
because the
just
defense has kept him in it the whole time.
right, and just to circle all the way back to the Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to say this. Because of what took place on Monday night, it's going to be a stumbling block for Cincinnati.
Ooh.
They're not going to be able to perform as well as a lot of people think they're going to be able to perform. They may win a playoff game, but I don't see them heading to the dance.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. Because the AFC is just getting stacker and stacker as we see with young talent, and as we roll into the talent section real quick, and I just want to deviate a little bit. So I want to bring Lamar Jackson because I covered Lamar Jackson yesterday. Okay, and as you know, and a lot of people know that Lamar Jackson hasn't played in about almost 5 weeks now. He's owed a new contract. He wants a new contract. The Ravens gave him a offer of $250 million, and Lamar's like, "No, nah, I'm going to bet on myself." And I can't fault for anybody betting on themselves. You're a prime star athlete. I get it. I mean, I do the same thing just like anybody else would. And now, I don't think he's coming back to Baltimore. I think with him having a 1-3 playoff record right now he has a 1-3 playoff record. Okay, doesn't have a defense. You just lost to Jacksonville 3 weeks ago. Okay, and now you've got Joe Burrow. You've got Justin Herbert from the Chargers that are balling out right now. They're on a winning streak and they're ready to go into playoffs. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Josh Allen. I mean, those are just 5 quarterbacks right there. I just named off the top of my head. Now, and those are 5 seeds. Okay, so you're saying that Lamar Jackson, even though he's an NFL MVP, and I get that. Okay, but look where the AFC conference is right now when it comes to talent.
It's stacked. It's stacked.
Does he go to the NFC then?
Where else would he land in the AFC? The Colts?
They don't have a defense. They don't have a head coach. Let's just start there. They don't have a head coach.
Exactly. What if management in Indianapolis says, we're going to hire a coach that is going to be beneficial for him going to the Panthers with Jim Harbaugh from Michigan.
So Jim Harbaugh just released a statement yesterday saying that, no, you don't believe it?
No.
What? Why not?
No, because they're going to offer him a offer he can't refuse.
So he did say, and there's speculation that Denver is 20. They said if he offers him $20 million, he would consider taking the job now. But think about it this way: remember when John Gruden reset the market 3 years ago when he took the contract at the Raiders, right? For $10 million, right? For 10 years, he got a 10-year contract. Okay, now you're gonna say that you're gonna have Jim Harbaugh take a $20 million contract, and now there's speculations of Sean Payton come back to the table. How much do you think he will command?
Right, because he actually has a Super Bowl championship.
Yes.
Jim Harbaugh has 3 NFC championship appearances and a Super Bowl appearance.
Yes. So,
but he lost to his brother in the Super Bowl Baltimore, which is kind of funny. We're talking about Baltimore and Jim Harbaugh,
Yeah.
all kind of all kind of related. But I don't see him staying in Michigan. I see him coming out of the college and revisiting the NFL because a team, whether it's the Colts or whether it's the Panthers, they're going to offer him something with maybe personnel control or something to get him out because of how much. And that's same thing with Sean Payton, by the way. If
Right.
whatever team's going to get him, he's going to demand or you're going to see somewhere in there.
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to see somewhere in there that he's going to want personnel decisions as well.
Yeah, he's a Bill Parcells tree.
Right.
From that from that tree. So yeah, he's going to want control.
Yep.
That
and if the Panthers can secure Jim Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, look out.
Okay. So you're saying where does he go? Because there are speculations right now that Tepper has already. So Tepper, which is the owner to the Panthers, has already had conversations already with Jim Harbaugh already. And the fact that Sean Payton is already now Sean Payton and Mr. Loomis, which is the owners to the Saints, they're best friends. They're like homies apparently, and they're speculating that he's only going to go for a couple draft picks.
Right
now. If I'm Mr. Loomis, I'm not just taking a couple draft picks. I want some draft picks and I want some money, but I want some real capital. And I'm giving you a head coach.
Payton. Yeah,
I'm giving you Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on? All right, so if Sean Payton goes, where does he go?
Sean Payton? I already told you, Indianapolis.
And Jim Harbaugh?
Panthers, Carolina.
So then, where does Lamar go?
Panthers.
So you're saying that Lamar will go with Jim to the Panthers?
Yes.
So why won't Steve Wilkes get the job then?
Jim Harbaugh has a track record with dual threat quarterbacks. He had Alex Smith, and he also had Colin Kaepernick. And he made them very successful. And then when Jim Harbaugh left, Colin Kaepernick was not the same player after Jim Harbaugh left San Francisco. Besides the off of the field stuff, that was probably contributing to some of that. But with that being said, because of Jim Harbaugh not being there, absolutely impacted the growth and his success in the NFL moving past Jim Harbaugh.
Okay, so what you're saying is Lamar's going to Carolina.
I'm not just saying. I'm saying that's what's going to happen.
Okay, all right, America. You heard it here first. Frank said, "Hey, he's going to Carolina." A lot of Carolina Panthers fans, if you guys are out there, you guys will be super happy. All right.
So let's bring you back around to the playoffs because I know we were we led off with the playoff scenarios and. We have week 18, which we still got to get through. So let's go ahead and preview some of these matchups that we have in week 18, and then we'll go ahead and move into our playoff scenarios.
Okay, so playoff scenarios?
No, we're going into week 18 matchups.
Oh, week 18 matchups. Gotcha. Hold on. So week 18 matchups. All right, so we got Chiefs versus Raiders.
And that's at Arrowhead?
No, it's at Raiders.
Oh, it's in Las Vegas. And the way the Raiders showed up on last Sunday against the Niners' number one defense.
Yes.
It's going to be a shootout in Las Vegas. It's going to be a shootout in Las Vegas, and Kansas City wins, but not by much. I think Kansas City by 7, by a touchdown.
Okay. I'm going with the Raiders because here's the way I look at it. Jarrett Stidham's been in his in Josh McDaniels' coaching tree. You know, he was in New England when he got there. He's obviously there. He's familiar with it. He just hung 34 on you guys in San Francisco. I think they're going to go ahead and beat Kansas City because Kansas City doesn't have that quick strike firepower that they had previously with Cheetah when he departed.
Wow. Duke says Raiders are doing okay. I live just a few miles from the stadium.
Oh. Okay, Duke. All right, Duke. Well, hey, Duke, if you got any insight, definitely let us know because we
Duke,
want to
who do you
know.
have? Who do you have? Do you have Chiefs or Raiders? Are you going to be a homer and just pick your team? Let us know as we move into this next matchup.
All right, this matchup's near and dear to my heart, and you already know who it is. It's Tennessee visiting Jacksonville for the AFC South division title. Win and you get in.
Win
Uh,
and you get in.
I'm
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 going
gonna be the
Jacksonville.
homer, and I'm going with Jacksonville.
I'm
Obviously, I always ride with Jacksonville.
I'm going with Jacksonville because of what they've done the last half of the season. What they've shown heart. Uh, Trevor Lawrence has shown leadership that was lacking in the last couple seasons. And they're hitting on all the right cylinders right now. Doug Peterson has them playing at a very high level, and I have no problem going with the home team because they would technically be my home team since I'm closer to Jacksonville now than any other NFL team. So yeah, I will also choose the Jacksonville Jaguars to win and a blowout.
I concur with you. I think it might be a blowout because I think Doug Peterson does have that, exactly what you just said. He has that team laser focused, and for him to be able to call the media the way he did this past week, I think speaks volumes to his leadership, but to willing to show his team that he's a no nonsense coach and he has one thing and one thing in mind, and that's just to win one game after another game and not overthinking or overlooking teams, staying focused. And I think they learned that when they went to Detroit and they got blown out in Detroit after beating Baltimore the week prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
So he hasn't playing at a good level right now. That's not. I'm not going to see a drop off on that. They are going to ride into the playoffs with a huge win, with the division championship, or division title, excuse me, division title, and head into the playoffs with being a team to be reckoned with. I don't see them. I'm going to hurt your heart. I don't see them making it out of the playoffs this year, but they are going to make a lot of noise, and they're going to have people watching what they're going to do next year.
All right, I'll circle back to that comment when we cover the playoff seeding, and I'll break it down for you. So we got the Bucks at the Falcons.
Bucks at the Falcons. Bucks at the Falcons. They're going to be in Atlanta. Again, Tom Brady, man, he wants this. He wants it. I told you last week not to sleep on the Bucks. I told you.
You did.
Week.
You broke my heart.
Yeah, I told you last week. Don't sleep on the Bucks.
I did.
There's going to be some magic, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay magic coming out of Tampa. I see them beating Atlanta in this game, and I told you last week that they were a favorite of mine to reach the Super Bowl this year because of what Tom Brady brings to the table. For whatever, I just got this feeling, man. I just got this feeling about it. I told you this last week.
You did.
I got this feeling that Tom Brady is going to do something special this season. And if he wins, if he wins the Super Bowl, he retires from football.
There is no way he's going to retire, but we'll cover that later.
Duke says,
yeah, go ahead.
Probably for Raiders right now. I lived in Kansas City for 6 years through though, and like the Chiefs while I lived there. Does that make me a traitor?
Not whatsoever. Not whatsoever, Duke.
It's okay to like the team that you live near.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problems. I mean, Carolina's not that bad. I do follow them because I'm down there. I'm about 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Charlotte, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Patriots and Bills. This is one we were talking about.
And this is where? In New England?
Bills.
Bills. Dude, the energy in that building is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. I'm telling you right now, the Bills by double digits.
Sold out? Sold out, you think?
Dude, it's going to be sold out. There's going to be people in the parking lot. What are you talking about? That thing is going to be off the roof, especially with everything that happened with, again, they're going to ride this energy, man. The Bills are going to beat the Patriots by double digits on Sunday or Saturday. I don't know what day are they playing.
They are playing. I think they're playing on the 8th as well too. Yeah, they're playing on the 8th.
The 8th, so Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they are going to win by double digits against the Patriots.
I can concur with you on that as well too. Like I don't think there's going to be. I think the Bills.
There's no scheming. that Bill Belichick is going to be able to do to overcome the emotion in that building. It's going to be deafening in that building.
I mean, I concur with you, man. Like, here's one thing I can say about the Bills, and you and I both know. The Bills have a very wonderful fan base, and I feel like it's a very fan base that can be reckoned with. Kind of like how we know Steelers fans are and Green Bay Packer fans are. You know, they have that diehard core.
Joe, growing up, we used to travel to that Buffalo area quite often as kids. And I remember Buffalo flags all over the place. Every little town that you passed through up there in that area had Buffalo flags. The little stores, the convenience stores, the mom and pop stores. Everyone supports the Bills in North and Western New York.
It makes sense. And you know, for me, it was just you know, I was a little kind of small when we were going through that, so like you would have more memory. So then we got the Vikings and the Bears, and the Bears are at home, obviously at that. Man, I think the Bears are going to win this one.
Well, you and I will disagree on this one then.
They don't have a defense. How are you going to guard your quarterback? How are you going to guard their quarterback?
The Vikings win in Chicago, making up for the embarrassing day loss that they had in Green Bay last week. They come out ready to play, and they're going to beat the Bears.
Dude, Justin Fields is going to run for like over 100 yards easily and at least 2 TDs.
It's not going to matter. The Vikings are going to win.
All right, we'll see, because obviously the Vikings don't have I mean, they got an okay defense, but they don't have a defense like the Packers do right now.
It's all going to be offense. The offense is going to win that game for them.
All right. This is the game of the week that nobody wants to watch, and I'll encourage no one to watch. All right, which is the Texans and the Colts. Two bad teams. Gosh. One of the worst two teams, and one of my
worst. Who's playing for the number 1 seed?
Yeah, right. The Texans are.
Texans?
Yes.
Yeah, Colts win. Colts win.
I'm going to go with that. I feel bad for Lovie Smith, unfortunately, okay?
Colts win in an ugly game. It's going to be ugly. It's probably be a field goal led. You're great. If you have a fantasy kicker on either one of those teams, it'd be a good time to pick one up, because that's where the points are coming from.
Points are definitely going from that. Hey, Ivan Adams, I appreciate the like and subscribe, but he just subscribed to my channel, Frank. Ivan, if you like my stuff, definitely check out Frank's Culture, correct? I got that correct?
He's one of my guys.
Oh, never mind.
So's Duke.
I got duped. All right. Jets and the Dolphins. Now, this is a weird one because the Dolphins don't have a quarterback. They're going to be starting a rookie quarterback, okay, because Tua's out, and so is Teddy Bridgewater. I love Teddy Bridgewater when he played for Minnesota. He had that, obviously, non-contact injury towards ACL, and then he just never recovered.
Yeah.
I really think just the Jets are going to win this one. I mean, even though the head coach for the Dolphins is solid, I think Mike Salah is going to put a good defensive scheme together.
Where are they at? Are they in Miami?
Yeah, they're down in Miami, in beautiful Miami weather, South Beach.
Is the Cheetah playing?
I'm pretty sure Cheetah's going to play.
I'm going to go ahead and go Dolphins, just so I can be the opposite of you this time. But I got a feeling I'm going to give it to the home team.
All right. And then this one, hey, this is just up your alley right here. And we were just talking about them. We got the Panthers and the Saints.
Panthers and Saints.
I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah, I'll go with the Panthers as well. Yeah, they played the Bucks. They played the Bucks tough, and they had that game. But
Steve Wilkes has done a great job with that team since he's been able to take over as the interim head coach. Browns. All right, here's another one. I think the Browns are going to win by 3 touchdowns easily. It's the Browns and Steelers. Kenny Pickett. I mean, Kenny Pickett played very well Sunday night, but I think Deshaun Watson is going to just.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson had a big game.
3 touchdowns.
Week. Where's it at?
It's at Terrible Towland.
Dude,
Heinz Field.
I gotta take. I'm taking the Steelers. just for the
Okay.
fact they're coming into their home. Mike Tomlin's going to have them ready to play, especially Kenny Pickett coming off that huge emotional win for him, getting him that W there on Sunday night.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Yeah, I see the Steelers winning that game.
And Kenny Pickett, and
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close game.
And just to follow up on that, like Kenny Pickett is doing very well for what he has currently, and he's a young quarterback. You know, this is his first year, but I really think that Mike Tomlin's doing a very good job with him. I think maybe if they got maybe a different offensive coordinator, maybe to take over more play calling than what Mike, because you know how Mike Tomlin is. He wants to call all the plays.
Yeah, man.
All right, this one's gonna be a little weird due to the fact that the Broncos played Kansas City very close last week. So you got Chargers and the Broncos, and they're playing at Mile High. So I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert.
I'm going with Russell Wilson.
Okay.
I'll go with Russell Wilson just because RG3 liked my tweet about it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey RG3, if you're out there, we want to say hi. Maybe we can get you on one day. All right, Giants and Eagles. Now, mind you, the Giants have already seeded. Their seat will not change regardless if they win or lose. Eagles have to win to secure the number one seed. And supposedly, there's rumors currently right now that Jalen Hurts will play this coming Sunday.
The Giants hate the Eagles.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with the Eagles, because Jalen Hurts is going to play, more than likely.
Giants hate the Eagles.
But do you think Mac Jones is going to play? Do you risk your starters, or do you try to make a statement in the playoffs?
Well, you possibly knock out the Eagles from that number one seed and taking away their bye week.
And San Francisco can sneak in because they have a cakewalk.
Hold on. I'm thinking back, if you remember, back in 2000, I want to say it was 2010. Was that the Patriots' perfect season that they had and they lost?
No, that was 2008. I do remember that because that's the year that Eli Manning. I remember that because I was in Iraq and I stayed up till 5 a.m. to watch it.
The Giants were playing. They had nothing to lose. There was no seeding was going to go up or down for them, and they were playing the Patriots, and they did not roll over for the Patriots in that game, and they lost. They lost that game. Very close game, and then they saw them down the road in the Super Bowl, obviously, and then they won.
Yep, Randy Moss was such a, and it was crazy because they just scored, and they left Eli Manning just I think it was like a minute and a half or 2 minutes left to drive down the field and win.
I think the Giants come out to play. And
okay.
I think the Giants are going to man.
You're fighting with yourself here.
I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Okay.
But it's going to be a lot tougher for them than they think.
Okay. I know you're definitely going to be a homer on this one, and I'm definitely gonna piggyback on you on this one because this isn't even a game. It's going to be Carolina versus 49ers, and I doubt I would see Brock Purdy only playing maybe till halftime.
Carolina?
No, against the Cardinals.
Oh, I thought you said Carolina. Yep. I was like, wait, I thought Carolina was already playing. They're playing them again? Against the Cardinals, Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be watching. Do the Eagles play before the Niners?
Ooh, let me check. I'll tell you right now. The Eagles play. Nope, they play at the same time.
They're playing at the same time.
Yeah.
Unless they're blowing out the Cardinals, they're going to give it their all the entire game.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's going to be sitting down by the second quarter.
I'm just saying. I I don't think they're going to give the Cardinals a chance to play an upset, especially knowing that there is a opportunity for them to sneak into that first seed and get that bye week.
Fair enough. I concur too. I think San Francisco's on a mission. Kyle Shanahan's on a mission.
Dude, right now, if watching the NFL, I know there's so many storylines going on right now. There are so many teams that are hot right now. It's going to be a tremendous playoffs this year.
I think this has the. I think it definitely has the right teams in this year's. Just with the fan bases and how big a lot of fan bases are, to really be one of the more publicized and more watched television games this year, just due to the fact of everything that's going on altogether.
I keep telling you, the storyline to watch is going to be Buffalo.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna have to laugh at you. I'm gonna have to laugh at you at some point in time.
We have a Monday night game or no?
I'll check right now. Hold on. No, there is no Monday night game. Everything
finishes up Sunday then, right?
See, Sunday, because we're playing Saturday.
Okay. Saturday. So, is there a Sunday night game, or did we already touch that?
Yeah, we haven't got there yet.
Okay.
So, I already know who's Sunday night game. All right. So next one's gonna be Rams and Seahawks. Obviously, Rams is gonna play Baker Mayfield. You know, he's been there a couple weeks with the Rams, and you got Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. Geno Smith. You know, Pete Carroll, you know, they've got a good thing going. And then they did go toe-to-toe with San Francisco. I think and they just won, and they could possibly still make the playoffs still on top of that. So the Seahawks are definitely playing for.
And they're in Seattle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the 12th man will be a factor as well. So, yeah, I'll go with Seattle on this one.
And then here's the cooler part with the Seahawks is they own the Broncos pick this year.
Okay.
And currently right now the Seahawks are seeded to pick number 2 currently right now. Because of the Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. And then we got the Cowboys and the Commanders.
Go Cowboys.
Cowboys all day. Like, I'm sorry, Ron Rivera didn't even know that he could be eliminated. Which is like wild because like I love Ron Rivera. Like
I really don't like Ron Rivera. I really don't like him.
So
I've had issues with Ron for a few seasons now.
Well, I watched him on the Amazon Prime like show that they do. Like they did. Cam was still on the team then, but we're just seeing it. But yeah. All right, our Sunday night game, which is our last night of the game. This one has playoff implications as well, too. Win and get in. Lions and Packers.
Woo! The Lions have an opportunity to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Playoffs?
Yep.
Playoffs?
Right? Yes.
Remember that, Jim Mora?
Yep. It's like it's talking about Allen. It's like Allen Iverson in practice.
Yeah. Oh man. So they're playing where? Detroit?
Now they're playing in Lambeau Field, man.
Green Bay all day.
Green Bay, dude. You're not beating Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're taking a dome team.
They just dismantled the Vikings. Yeah, the Lions. They might as well be called the Kitty Cats because they ain't going to be roaring much on that Sunday night game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it gets pretty cold. I mean, but we thought San Francisco last year was going to do that, and they put a whooping on my man Aaron Rodgers. But
yeah, that's different though.
You're right. You're right.
That rivalry in the playoffs is always heated with San Fran Green Bay.
Yeah, it is. Like I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot. I just think he's on that controversial side and all that stuff. So he likes.
I like Aaron Rodgers. I like some of his takes.
Yeah,
and I like it because he's unafraid to lay it out there, and he's okay with the backlash. He doesn't care about the backlash. He's like, whatever.
He's like, whatever. I'm still very wealthy, so what are you gonna do to me? So, all right. So, those are our picks. Those are our picks, you guys. Keep us accountable. So let us know how we do.
Yep.
As we meet again, when we meet again next Friday.
Yeah,
And
next
we'll
Friday
see.
we'll go ahead and go down at the beginning of the show. We'll discuss how we did
Yep.
and how bad we were off on our picks.
Yes.
And so we'll see how that turns out next Friday when we meet back up. So
Yep.
what do we got next? We got playoff pitcher.
Yes. So let's pull up the playoff picture real quick.
And while he's doing that, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button if you're just coming in. Thank you for joining us for tonight's stream, talking about NFL football playoffs and Week 18 games. We do appreciate your feedback. Make sure you leave any type of comments in the comment section down below. Let us know who's your favorite to win. Do you agree with my take about Buffalo possibly winning it all this year, riding on the emotional emotions for them to oh goodness,
Yep.
Hamill's injury. Do they propel themselves all the way to a championship because of it as we look toward the Super Bowl and playoffs? So I'm very curious to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in there. Also, don't forget to share this out. If you have some sports family, sports friends that you would like to send it out to them. Let them weigh in on some of these picks, weigh in on some of these storylines that we're currently laying up and talking about today. Would love to hear from you guys about it. Tell us your favorite teams out there, and continue to watch the channel, continue to support this channel, Jive Turkeys. Hit that like button, subscribe button, just like I said earlier. So thank you for all that support that we have been receiving here on this show.
Alrighty.
You got that
Frank,
ready?
Yep. I definitely appreciate the infomercial. Thank you. So I'm gonna go with the first one here because it's near and dear to my heart. So we're on the AFC, and then we're gonna go to the right, which is the NFC.
You put it on the screen?
Oh shit! How do I do that?
Just share it. Hit
Uh,
that present button down there. See that present?
oh,
present.
this button here,
Yeah,
and
click
then
it.
what I do? Just slide.
No, click it, and it will bring down another.
Share screen. Here we go.
There you go.
See, and then I need to do Chrome tab.
Which one are you trying to share? That one you sent me earlier? Okay, you got it?
Yeah, I got it put up. All right, I'm sharing now. Can you see it?
There it is. Okay. Can you increase it? Can you
can I go what do you
maximize it like some? It's fine. It's good. I can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
can you guys see it?
They can see it.
Cool. All right. So we're gonna go to AFC and then we'll go to the NFC. All right. So we're gonna start with the 5 seed and 4 seed. Jacksonville and Chargers. Now remember, Jacksonville and Chargers met in week 3. Jacksonville demolished the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was a little injured though when he did play, so I was really surprised he did play. But I think this is going to come down to coaching. I think Doug Peterson is going to outcoach his rival, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to squeak this win out by a field goal. Your thoughts?
I agree. I think the Jaguars would win that matchup with the Chargers, especially if it's at home, which it indicates on that.
Yeah, they'll be playing it. Yeah, so they'll be playing in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so I see that. I will see the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that game. Linda Hay says, Joe, you and I both know my pick. Let's go Jaguars.
Yes, Jacksonville. So, obviously, as we know, the other portion to the AFC obviously isn't decided due to the fact because there isn't a clear warning yet of who won the division yet altogether on that side. So right now you're gonna have the Bengals and Baltimore. I'm taking the Bengals. Lamar Jackson's not playing. Bengals all day.
Bengals all day. Yep, I agree with you on that one as well.
Currently, right now, we're looking at Buffalo and we're looking at New England. Buffalo's they're going to take them to the hammer.
Buffalo all day long.
All right. So we're going to just stay in the AFC side real quick. So now you have Jacksonville and Kansas City. Now, here's the thing. Played Kansas City right before they took off. They lost 17-27. Trevor Lawrence played okay. But I think, honestly, the way he is playing currently right now and how that defense is playing and how they're able to take the ball away and get to the quarterback, you might see an upset.
Maybe. Arrowhead is a tough place to play in. especially in the playoffs. We've seen this from Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They will be prepared. Travis Kelce, they are going to have something for the Jaguars. But then again, you said they met earlier this year with the closer game. It's going to be a close game. I don't see a blowout, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to deviate from your pick here and go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. And a fun fact is Doug Peterson is from Andy Reid's coaching tree too. On top of that,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
which will
mentor
make
versus
that
pupil.
yes, which was going to make it a fun game. So all right, so then we have Kansas City moving on to the next round. So now you have now we have that neutral field that we talked about.
Yep.
Between Bengals and Buffalo. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's playing lights out. I mean, he's got a squad.
Going with Buffalo. Going with Buffalo. They're riding the emotional high.
All right. Then you have a rematch from last year that everybody saw last year's Kansas City and Bills
Buffalo.
game. That came down to almost overtime, and Josh Allen dueled it out with him, and Kansas City prevailed. Obviously, I think Josh Allen, this is where he prevails and shuts up Nick Wright finally.
Yes, I agree. Buffalo to the Super Bowl.
So then we have Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
All right, heading over to the NFC. Obviously, we know Philly is
Guitar Tim says Dallas Cowboys all day.
Man, that was fast. So Dallas and the Bucks. Now, mind you that the Bucks did beat Dallas at the beginning of season week 1, but that was a different type of Bucks team. But Mike McCarthy does have more coaching experience and playoff experience than Todd Bowles does. I don't know. I'm going to go with Dallas on this one.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I tell you, Tom Brady magic inside the playoffs. It's hard to beat. And the Dallas Cowboys have been exposed over the last couple of weeks during some of these matchups that some of the games they should have won, they haven't won. Game that they should have definitely had a big win against Philadelphia, struggled to beat them in Dallas. So I am going to pick the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. It will be decided under 7 points.
I think the key thing for the Bucs to win is just like what Jacksonville did, took the ball away. And we know Dak Prescott, like you told me earlier, Dak Prescott's leading the NFL almost in interceptions. So he's bound to at least give them at least 2 picks. And if you do that and give Tom Brady the ball, 2 extra possessions, he's going to make you pay.
Yep, and especially if it's a short field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
All day. All right, so good.
All right, now we got G-Men and the Vikings.
I'm going to go with the G-Men on this one.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I'm going to go with G-Men on this one just because the defense for the Vikings have been non-existent. They would have to rely heavily on the offense. But if that offense gets shut down whatsoever by a average to good defense, they're not going to win.
I mean, we did see how frustrated Justin Jefferson got last week against the Packers, and somehow he's magically not suspended somehow.
Yeah.
So, Seahawks and San Francisco, man, this is a rematch from just 2 weeks ago that we saw.
Niners all day.
Man, I'm gonna roll right with you on that one. So now you have the G-Men and San Francisco, unfortunately. And San Francisco is just going to take it Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones isn't going to know what to do.
Yeah, it's going to be played in San Francisco. Definitely Niners to the NFC Championship game.
All right.
Now, here is the game that's going to give me difficulty to try to pick this one. Buccaneers at the Eagles. There is history with these two franchises where the Buccaneers struggled to try to get to the Super Bowl. They had to go through Philadelphia back in the early 2000s. It was 98 and 99, and then they finally were able to get over that hump in 2000 and win the Super Bowl after they went through Philadelphia. And then last season, we had Philly come into the Buccaneers' home, and they went home with an L, but it was a close game. My goodness. Does Tom Brady have enough magic to win at the Link against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Wow.
And now, mind you, they've got a stout defense.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm having a difficult matchup. I'm going to have to go with the Eagles on this one. Eagles over the Bucks.
Eagles over the Bucks. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, that might be pretty good. I'm. The only thing that might only thing that's probably going to sway me is Tom Brady, and here's the reason why. If that defense doesn't break, but only bends a little bit, like we've seen over these past couple weeks, where they've given the ball back with 2 minutes left, 2 to 3 minutes left, to score and win the game. That's what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Only if I can see the defense taking the ball away from Jalen Hurts. I could.
Yeah. You got a spoiler on this one?
As you and I both know, Michael Jordan doesn't do a lot of commercials or anything like that. Now, we all know Michael Jordan did come out at the beginning of the season, did do a tribute to Tom Brady being his 23rd season this year. Yeah. I think Tom Brady might find some of that MJ magic and get himself to the NFC Championship, but I think that's where it ends.
Okay. All right. So you're going with
Bucks. Yep. So then we'd have, ideally, let's say we have the Bucks. So I'll play devil's advocate with you here. So let's say you have San Francisco and the Eagles. Who would you pick?
San Francisco and the Eagles. It would be played in Lincoln Financial. Well, depends if the 49ers get the first seed or not. So,
yep.
Okay. So if it's played in Philadelphia, I will give it to Philly.
Okay.
If it's played in San Francisco, I will give it to San Fran. Home field will decide if they have to meet up in the playoffs.
Okay. And then secondly, if Tampa goes to San Francisco.
Tampa. They come back and they redeem themselves from that loss they had in San Francisco earlier in the season. Tom Brady breaks the head coach Kyle Shanahan's heart once again, like he did when he was in Atlanta. When Brady came back,
I remember that
down
game.
28-3 in the Super Bowl and broke the hearts of all Atlanta fans and everybody that was cheering against Tom Brady that Super Bowl. Tom Brady returns to the Super Bowl. That's the matchup.
I remember that. I was deployed, and my buddy that was from Georgia, he was like, it was 28-3 going into halftime. He's like, hey, I'm going to bed. We're good. We're going to win. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to watch this game. And sure enough, glad I did, because Tom Brady came back and ripped their hearts out.
Yeah.
So if Tom Brady does make it, well, that would be the second time, because when he played him in the Super Bowl, no, that was the Chiefs. Never mind. Yeah. I'm out of the way here. All right, so then you would have so Tom Brady would be the Super Bowl then against against the Bills.
Yep. I go Bills.
Bills.
I tell you, what happened on Monday night is going to propel the Bills to a championship. I've already said it. I've said it at the beginning of today's stream. As much as I love my 49ers as a franchise and what they've done for the NFL throughout its history, the Bills will win their first Super Bowl to the city of Buffalo.
Get that first chip finally.
First Super Bowl, because of they're playing it for Hamill. They're playing it for him. They're going to win it. So
as you guys saw here, we just went through everything. Definitely keep us accountable. Let us know, if you took the ticks down, definitely let us know what you guys' thinks are on that process there. So I'm going to go through, so as we finish up here, Frank, I'm going to go through a couple scenarios real quick with you.
While you're doing that, there was a story not talked about a whole lot in the media, or at least from what I could tell.
Right.
Peyton Hillis, who was the running back for the Browns a few years back, was in critical condition after saving his children in the ocean.
What?
Yesterday or day before. They were drowning, and he went in after them, and he saved them. But he was in critical condition because of that. I'm guessing that he like drowned and they had to kind of resuscitate him. That's what I'm
Yeah,
guessing happened. But he is making progress in the hospital, though. So good news on that front. What a hero! I wish more stories like that were talked about and highlighted. I know he's not currently in the NFL anymore, but that's just a feel good story of a father rushing in to save his children and risking everything in order to do so. So, kudos to Peyton Hillis. I pray for his family and his quick recovery. And wow, what an amazing story that it was.
man, Peyton Hillis, man, I remember when he actually played. Actually, I was pretty big into football, as I still am. But just seeing those type of stories, and it kind of reminds me of like what the late Kobe Bryant used to say, which is like, you tore your Achilles, house is burning down, your kids are upstairs. You're not going to think about that, Achilles, that Achilles tear.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to run up and go get your family.
Right.
So yeah, if you've got that story, if you could tweet it out, Frank, definitely tweet it out. I didn't see it. I know my work schedule is a little weird now. So if you got that story, definitely share it out. Definitely put it on the stream. Definitely share it out because, I think that's something that we're doing together, which is showing people that it's about sports now. It's not about anything else but sports and what people are doing outside of the lines, like they say, and what they're actually doing.
Yeah, I actually have that story real quick.
If you want to go ahead and highlight it, let's go ahead and highlight it real quick.
Yeah, let me go and grab it and put it on the screen for you guys. So while we talk about the last thing, I'd like to highlight a good story here. You have you want to put it on the screen there? You can.
Got you, brother. Hold on 1 second. And then
there it is.
There we are.
And so here it is. Here's the story. It says former NFL running back Peyton Hillis reportedly intensive care after saving his children from drowning. Former Arkansas Razorback and NFL running back Peyton Hillis is reportedly being treated in intensive care after saving his kids from drowning. The news came out on social media on Thursday night. A family member of Hillis confirms the news on Facebook. An Arkansas native, Peyton Hillis was a journeyman running back in his time in the NFL. After a successful career as a fullback, he found himself being drafted in the 7th round in the 2008 draft. Local news anchor Alyssa Orange shared the news to Twitter from Peyton's uncle Facebook account. I just wanted to let everyone know on Razorback Nation that Peyton is doing better, Greg Hillis posted. He still is in intensive care and having some problems with his kidneys and his lungs, but doctor says he's improving. I just want to head off any rumors that may be started. I am sure he would want everyone to know that he appreciates all of the prayers being thrown up on his behalf. So there's that Facebook post that was shared. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Peyton Hillis reportedly helped save his children from drowning. However, it sounds like he ran into some complications himself. The news slowly started trickling out online before confirmed by the family. While Hillis is in the hospital, the kids are reported to be safe. There you go.
That's a hero right there, man. I like, like we always say, especially in the military, that's something we say, and it's cool to see that he didn't matter for his own life. He said, "Hey, I'm going to go save my kids."
Yep.
That's what any father would do.
Yep. So great story to highlight on that. What did you have to wrap up for us tonight?
Yeah, we covered them all earlier. I want to just talk real quick. Raiders, as we all know, the Raiders benched Josh McDaniels benched Derek Carr. Derek Carr's no longer at the team anymore. He said, "Hey, I don't want to be a distraction." He is no longer at practices and nothing. All right, he's just hanging out. All right. Devontae Adams came out and was saying, "Hey, I came to the Raiders to play with Derek Carr because they were teammates in college."
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this, Jarrett Stidham. What I think, and this is just me speculating, and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. Stidham played for Josh McDaniels when he was in New England. Obviously, he knows his system, right? So we know Derek Carr is not his guy. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr's owed over $40 million 3 days after the Super Bowl. 3 days after Super Bowl. Who's going to trade for him? Now, mind you, he doesn't have a no-trade clause. So he has to agree on a trade in order for him to leave. Is Josh McDaniels stuck with Derek Carr? Because
You know,
the Raiders,
Josh,
hold on. Because the Raiders franchise has already said that they will be aggressively going after Tom Brady. How
and
can
that's
you
why,
afford Tom Brady if you're going to pay Derek Carr $40 million?
dude. Josh McDaniels is the killer of franchises. Let me tell you what, as a head coach. We saw what he did in Denver. He didn't leave Denver in a very good shape after he left.
Get caught cheating.
I'm just telling you, man. How he got another shot at an NFL team, I don't know. Outside of his being under the tutelage of course, Bill Belichick. You know what? The Raiders might just fire him.
But now you're paying 2 coaches you have under contract.
Al Davis, is it Al Davis? No, Al Davis passed away. His brother, for the team, it still runs it, right? Mike
Correct.
Davis. They've never been known to make reasonable moves. They're very they like to be the talk of the town, kind of like the Cowboys. They're
Mark
like
Davis.
the Cowboys. Yeah, they're the Cowboys of the West Coast.
Okay. So, and as you know, the NFL did just publish an article a couple weeks ago about, NFL teams firing coaches. And
I know. We talked about this last week. If they don't fire him, I think management tells McDaniels he has to play Derek Carr.
Okay, so here's the other thing, because Devontae Adams did come out and did say, I want input on the next quarterback. Yeah. Now, if he doesn't get the quarterback he wants, is he going to be a distraction, or are you going to say, I just don't quit and I'm not playing anymore?
Man, they got all kinds of issues over. I would hate to be a Raiders fan.
If you're a Raiders fan, I feel bad for you right now. You don't have any going at the table.
Was it Duke talked about the Raiders in there?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Duke was. He was like, hey, I'm a Raiders fan. And I'm like, it's what we go back to. Coaching. How much does coaching matter?
Dude, I don't know. That's a lot of dysfunction. There's teams we can point out right now dysfunction. We got the Raiders, the Colts, the Saints, Texans. There's a lot of dysfunction. Yeah, there's a lot of
Cardinals got GM. They got 2 people split the duties.
Maybe you could apply.
Maybe I could apply. Hey, you never know. Never know. You tell me no.
Yeah, sign me up. I'll take the league minimum to GM.
League minimum for GM for the Cardinals. Easily.
I guarantee you that I will put in 110% into the job.
I mean, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of
got to lose. But look at your franchise right now. What do you got to lose?
I can only go up from there.
Yeah, we're at the bottom, baby. We're at the bottom. We're at the rock. We're looking up, man.
Hey, just as long as I increase my wins by 1 or 2 games a season.
Just one. You increase it by 1. You're like, I'm 100% better than you guys were last year.
And I cost less money.
And cost less money. You can use all the players.
So,
apply, then you can hire me.
Yeah. So hey, Steve Keim, if you're listening, Arizona Cardinals,
dude, tweet him. Tweet him, say, hey, dude, I will GM your team for the league minimum.
Yes.
I'm all about order. I have a military background. I will get your franchise into shape.
Let's go. So that's the crazy part. So because fun fact about the Arizona Cardinals, they haven't hired outside the organization in over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it is a big deal, but there's a lot of controversy, unfortunately, going on with the Arizona Cardinals and everything like that. So it's a mess of an organization, just like, the Colts are, Atlanta, Houston, the Saints. I mean, even the Jets, if you think about it too, right now, the Jets, they're down there doing whatever Jets fans do. The Raiders, even the Rams.
Hey, remember in that movie Coco, seize your moment.
Facts. So Frank, how do you want to end the stream? How do we do this? So let's figure out how we what do we leave our guests with?
We'll leave our guests with is make sure you wrote down who we picked and tell us if we did better than you this coming week. You make your own picks there at home. share them with us in the comments down below. Tell us how you are picking for this week's games. And if you leave them in, we will highlight them on the next live stream. We'll go ahead and highlight your comments of your predictions for Week 18 games and see how you did compared to how we did. So I look forward to seeing that next Friday.
Awesome. Definitely, guys. We appreciate you guys coming on, spending this time with us, talking about this NFL and what we call sports and nothing but sports.
And next Friday, next Friday we move into 2 hours because we are now in playoff time, and we want to dedicate the time to discuss each playoff matchup in a little bit more detail because we'll actually have the full picture by then, and we'll be able to help you guys navigate. Even maybe we'll definitely give you guys our picks. I'm on that Buffalo train all the way to the championship right now. So just let you know, well, that's where I'm at.
Well, we would definitely see that. What I challenge everybody to do is to check out Frank. Frank, you got a new page, right?
I do. I have a new channel called Let's Be Frank Culture, where I talk about movies, TV shows, video games, and a little bit of sports in there if I get around to it. I have a busy schedule as it is. I'm working to try to balance it all out so that way I can put enough content on every channel that I'm currently on. But go check it out. Let's Be Frank Culture. Fantastic stuff over there that I'm doing, that I will continue to do over there as I continue to do better, figure that arena a little bit more as I grow. But make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button for this channel here. Let Jive Turkey continue to grow as our voices in sports, and we're going to see how we match up to the pros, the mainstream media, as they like to tell you who's going to win and lose. And these guys are paid millions of dollars, and we're doing this for free.
For free. Now, mind you, we don't get paid. All right, Jive Turkey does not get paid. All right, I do this solely because I love the sport and I have a passion for it, and this is something I love doing.
And I do it because I love this guy next to me. So
this guy, that guy right there,
guy right there. I love that guy right there. He's my brother. So that's why I'm here. So I'll do this with him free of charge and help him out where I can. So
and just that, you guys, I'm always going to sit there and put content out as you guys see it. I try to go 3 days a week, 3 days a post. So work schedule, workout, but I do greatly appreciate everyone's support. Let's Be Frank. We always appreciate your support. Make sure to check out his channel as well and his new channel that he's putting out there. And, we look forward to seeing us grow through this year. So what I challenge everybody to do come next week is to bring a new person on and say, hey, come check out this new channel and check out Frank. Let's Be Frank's culture as well, too. So if you can guys do those things, we would greatly appreciate that on both ends. And Let's Be Frank, we always appreciate your time, and we appreciate your expertise like always. And we thank everyone that was in the comments today for getting in the comments. Just make sure to share, like, and subscribe. We were streaming on Twitter, so if you want to follow me on Twitter at JJGotMine2004. Frank, what's your hashtag on Twitter?
You can follow me at Let's Be Frank 2410. Awesome. And also, just give us an opportunity to entertain you guys on a Friday night. Just give us that opportunity. Give us an opportunity to entertain you guys and bring you through sports and present it in a fun way for you guys. We don't want to make it stale. We don't want to be boring. We want to be as high energy as possible talking about the stuff. We want you guys to enjoy it. Put us on your big screen TV at home.
Yes!
So that way you guys can follow along, take notes, put down your picks and stuff like that. Share them with us. We want to hear. Follow us over on Twitter. Add us and tell us that our picks were sorry this week.
We were trash.
that you did better than us. Tell us. We want to know, because we care about you, and we want to give you the best show on Friday night that we possibly can. So thank you so much for your time, which is so valuable. We appreciate that on our end. And again, we hope you'll come back out next Friday night to spend time with us at 7 p.m.
7
Eastern.
p.m. That's what we're going for.
Yeah,
7 p.m. You guys, stay tuned. That's our official big show as I officially launch going into 2023, which is Jive Turkey 65. Something near and dear to my heart, and it's something I have a great passion for. And as we grow this year, I challenge everybody to to do better. And like I always say, one like, one comment, and one subscribe at a time. And we appreciate everything you guys do for us. Frank, we appreciate everything you do for us in this channel. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys later.
See ya.